knows what they're talking about to cast this, but we will make
Yeah,
it Hawkeye. That's what we do.
yeah. Well, Gemini actually was supposed to be here, as you can see from our overlay, but
Wow.
unfortunately, he was running into some technology issues, so not able to go ahead and get that. But it's all right because you're here, I'm here, and we're about to get this started off. In the bottom right-hand
Yes.
corner, it's the purple Protoss player playing for. I think he has a team, but his NA account's teamless. I'll have to figure that out here, but it's strange.
I didn't notice this, but the purple looks like really pretty overlapping on the Nexus and the probes.
Yeah, that game hard edition, I tell you,
Yeah.
looking very pretty.
Oh wow. Stare at that. Stare at them. The probes stacking on the minerals for absolute efficiency. Less of a thing in Legacy, but we still get to look and enjoy that for now.
Yeah, and then in the top left-hand corner, we have a red Protoss player playing for Team Ascension's pro professional team. It's a part of their lineup. It's Creature, a
Mm.
veteran of the RSL Season 1 and 2.
You mentioned recaps. Can we get some of those?
Yeah, yeah. So recap. So yesterday was our opening broadcast. That was last night, and we actually had a pretty cool series on our hands here. We actually had Believe playing, which is a pretty well-known Protoss player from Team Extreme Supremacy. Definitely a veteran of the RSL as well, and he actually 2-0'd out of his group
Oh wow.
to get his way. He ended up beating Darling and EJK to get out in a 2-1 and 2-0 fashion. So,
I know EJK is rather dominant, so that's a pretty substantial result for him.
yeah, and yeah, it's funny because the games ended up EJK just went his mech style and Believe kind of ends up taking it just by with his smart Stargate play, getting that Stargate transition and going to that Sky Toss.
Yeah, Mech versus Protoss. I doubt it has the best kind of usage, but again, what do I know about races I don't play? So we see this pretty reasonable opener out of both of them. No real deviations so far. Seems like they're doing almost the exact same thing as is to be expected.
Yeah, really taking the definition of a mirror match to its conclusion, except for the Zealot here. Except for the Zealot.
Yes, and the probe scout coming out of Strange. He clearly wants to know what his opponent's up to. What is he looking for so early in the game, do you think?
I think he's just trying to confirm what he already knows, see if there's any tech that he might get into, but he's not really seeing anything too much, which will just kind of confirm that he's being safe for the most part. I mean, no shenanigans or anything like that. If it's since Strange is coming from the EU ladder, you never know what a creature might on hand that is just not a thing that's over in Europe.
True. Yeah, it seems like we have some cross-region suspicion going on here. They don't know what these different players do, different crowds, different scenes they play in. I can
Yeah.
understand that.
But they both have Twilight Councils coming down, so they're pretty
Yes.
much going the same route for the most part. One player going for that Zealot a little bit early, but Creature decides to cancel it at the last minute, seeing that he didn't actually need it, just have it there just in case. So pretty common tactic by the Protoss.
It's almost as if with the Twilights, it's almost as if they're saying, doesn't matter what server we play on, Blink Stalkers are always wonderful. And is that what's going to be the tech of choice? Yes, Blink.
Yeah, we see
Correct.
Blink from both players here, and Creature throwing down two more additional gateways in his base before doing anything else, and he's actually sending a probe out here, so
Mm.
expect a proxy pylon to go down. Creature ready to get on the aggressive.
Both of them will probably be trying something here, though. Didn't Strange have a probe out on the map at some point?
Yeah, but he ended up
Ah,
bringing it back at some point. So that probe never disappeared in this, but we do see the robotics facility going down, and Creature's mothership core is actually going to get in here, trying to get some shots, but look how low it's getting. And with the two stalkers, it's just going to have to mass recall.
yes. So far, I think who do you think is like favored in this position? So Creature gets down the pylon. We're gonna see them clash in just a few moments as Warp Gate finishes up for the both of them. Creature already moving across the map. Strange taking a Nexus. Do you think he believes he can actually defend this, or is he misreading? Hard to say.
I think he doesn't have enough information to actually draw a conclusion on what's going on. So I think
Yeah.
he's just doing the bare minimum, and it's even looking like he's expecting Stargate because of the
Ooh,
way that his units are positioned here. But that's not going to be the case here. But
this is going to be rough. And also, the Observer first isn't going to help out versus these Stalkers. I was expecting maybe a quicker Immortal, as if he got a read on this, but there's almost nothing here for Strange comparatively. This is going to be really hard to deal with. The Photon Overcharge goes down pretty quickly.
yeah, so picking away at a pylon, the creature's stalker is definitely not attacking any of the units that are attacking him. So Strange having a little bit of a jump on creature here, especially with that photon overcharge, and it's gonna force him back a little.
Yes. And at the same time, I still think Creature has a pretty decent army here. You can do a little more poke damage, but the Immortal is coming out, and that's going to shut this down pretty quickly.
Yeah, that immortal is out here, so that's gonna join these three stalkers and Sentry here. Sentry not really adding too much, but another Warpin's gonna come in for Strange as he's working getting his defense solidified.
Yes, and it's actually a really well timed out build where you see the photon. And this is like the little things that you can really appreciate out of this kind of play. But for a moment, we have this aggression going on. Creature poking forward, hoping he can do a bit more damage, make this build worth it. And he's gonna get this Immortal, maybe? Nope. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he ends up getting the immortal. So
Pretty big deal. And there's no photon overcharge right now, but these stalkers are starting to crumble. It's going to come down to the blink micro. They both have it, and it looks like creature is going to be definitively pushed back.
yeah, yeah, definitely. We see that Strange's stalkers are gonna come out, and they're gonna be Strange has one additional stalker, or it looks like two now. So
That is
creature's gonna have to get out of here.
creature cannot keep pushing here. He has effectively been sent back home. He is not too far behind because the Nexus is for neither of them. They're put down, and there is a Robo up for creature, but this does hurt. And looking forward, we can probably see Strange do some counter pressure because he has that stalker lead.
Yeah, so Strange finally gonna come back. And looks like he's actually looking to bring some aggression himself. So he's marching across the map with all these stalkers, and Creature's gonna have to go ahead and get a defense up of his own. He does have that immortal coming out, so it's gonna be able to really help aid in that defense. And then the overcharge, yeah, that's the one I'm looking for, will be available as well. But these blink ups are actually getting a lot of damage in before the big engagement. But Creature's gonna have to come back and get towards that Nexus range.
I mean, if we just look at the supplies, we can see there's a little bit of an advantage for Strange, which is a big deal when you have these expensive kind of units. And Strange is just taking his Nexus behind this. He has his opponent contained. His opponent cannot bust this Ram. This is going to be a difficult position to come back for Creature, I think. He is, no question, like, quite precariously placed in this game. I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to see that engagement here, and Zealot goes down, and the Immortal is still going, but the Blink Micro is actually coming in pretty handily for both players, but there's just too many army units for Strange.
Yeah, it kind of felt like Creature committed going home a bit early there, but again, I can't really guess these situations. But going down this ramp is never going to be easy, and this is only going to get harder and harder. So I think we may very well see Creature tap out momentarily.
Yeah, losing an Immortal, that's big, so Creature knows it, so you're right, Strange takes the first map.
Yeah, I don't mean to be the guy who's like, oh, it's over, but I guess in that circumstance it was over, so I need to lead the audience around.
Yeah, so first match is gonna go to Strange with that defense that he pointed out, and Creature just losing too much at that first attack, and even losing some units that were trailing when they're trying to run back home.
What do you think is in Creature's mind right now in terms of what he does next? You did a very aggressive build, but